Hello, friends. Welcome to today's Mindful Joy and Wellness. We're going to do some nice, gentle stretching. Let's begin by inhaling, arms up to the sky. Exhale all the way down into forward fold here. Inhale, arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale down into that forward fold. Good. We're just getting nice, gentle warm-ups here. Inhale up into standing mountain, little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Good, let's stay here in that forward fold. Maybe you'd like to shake the head yes here. Maybe you'd like to shake the head no. Maybe you want to use your blocks to press through a little bit. Maybe you want to bend those knees and just find some movement through those hips and those calves. And then let's inhale, arms all the way back up into standing mountain. Exhale them down to your side. And we're going to do an asymmetric forward fold. So from the side, we're just going to step that 1 foot back, just about 1 foot. So we have asymmetry when we forward fold. Let's inhale up. Exhale down. If you want to find your blocks here, you can find your blocks. You could find the ground. You could find your thighs or your shins if you want. I like to use the blocks. If you want to gently ease your weight from the front to the back heels, maybe lifting the heels, maybe lifting the toes as you shift, just notice how does this asymmetry feel compared to our symmetric regular forward fold. Hopefully you're feeling some nice lengthening happening. Just noticing. Good. And let's inhale those arms back up to the sky. Exhale down. Step that foot forward and the other foot back. Inhale up. Exhale down, finding your blocks, your thighs or your shins. And notice maybe you want to generously bend those knees, maybe lift the toes as you shift your weight from the front foot to the back foot. And maybe notice how does it feel on this side compared to the other side. Maybe you're going to press through those blocks, really engaging those posterior hips. And let's inhale all the way back up, bringing arms with us. Exhaling down, step that foot forward. Good. We're going to do one more forward fold symmetrically. Exhale down. Maybe you like to find the blocks. Maybe you want to let your head hang heavy again and just notice how do those hips feel. Maybe bending those knees again. Maybe finding a generous bend. How do they feel now that we've had that little asymmetry going on? Good. Perhaps you like to find your blocks as we're going to step. Let's go ahead and step the left foot back, right foot forward. And gently try to press that heel away from us, getting that nice long length happening through the back of the leg. Good. Maybe you want to add a little rotation here. You could drop the left hand down, lift right arm up to the sky. Find that rotation. And then perhaps rotate the opposite direction, lifting left arm up to the sky. Good. Bringing both hands down to the ground, let's drop that back knee down, shift our hips back, and find that length through the front leg so we get that hamstring stretch. You could bring your blocks with you as you shift those hips back, really pressing through the blocks. Maybe you want to walk those hands forward. Maybe you like to rock the hips forward, getting a nice hip flexor stretch in, as well as a hamstring stretch here. And noticing where do you need to spend a little extra time, a little extra love, a little extra attention. Stretching those hamstrings, stretching those hips. Feels really great. Excellent work. Good. Eventually, let's find a nice 90-90 position here. So we have 90 degrees with our front knee here, 90 degrees with back knee, and inhale those arms up to the sky. We're going to drop that right arm down to the ground, get a nice iliotibial band stretch here from the pinky finger down to that knee. Bring both arms up. Exhale, arms down. Maybe you want to clasp those fingers behind you. Get a little shoulder stretch here. Maybe do a little back bend. And then come back to neutral. Good. We're going to switch knees here. So you can bring those hands down to the ground if you want, while you switch the right knee down and the left knee forward, working our way back into that 90-90. So 90 degrees with the front knee, 90 degrees with the back knee. Inhaling those arms up. Good. This time we're going to drop that left hand, stretch the right iliotibial band from that pinky down to the knee. Oh, feels great. And then we're going to take those hands up to the wall, the ceiling. Exhale, arms down. Maybe do the little finger interlacing here. Maybe a little back bend. Stretch that front leg. Good. Come back to neutral. And then we're going to extend that front knee for that front leg hamstring stretch. If you want to take your blocks here, press those hips downward. Maybe you want to walk the fingers forward. Maybe you want to rock the hips forward so you get a hamstring and a hip flexor. So this is your hip flexor stretch. This is the hamstring stretch back here. So you can rock the hips, just noticing where your body needs to spend a little extra time, a little extra love. Where is it tight? How does this side feel compared to the other side? Good work. And then eventually we're going to slip that foot back. If you want to use your blocks here, you can. As you press that back toe, tuck it under and press the heel down to the ground so we get that nice calf stretch on this side. Good work. Feels really great through the legs. Getting that nice long length happening. Good work. Breathing strong here. Good. And then if you'd like, you can place those hands down to the ground. Step that foot back into downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling out those heels a little bit, finding that length through the back of the legs, to the back of the calves. Maybe pressing those hips up a little bit higher to the sky. Feeling that length happening in the hips, in the heels. Maybe you want to come up onto the toes, strengthen those toes. Maybe you want to press the heels into the earth. Great work. Let's drop those knees down to the ground and sink into child's position as we let those arms relax in front of us. And let those hips relax over the ankles. Just breathing here, finding that breath. Finding that calm. Maybe we can add a little bit of a side stretch here. We can walk our hands to the front of the room, get that side body stretch through the back. And then we can walk our hands to the other side, getting that side body stretch on the front. And back to center. Again, if you'd like to find a block, you could place that block underneath the forehead. Getting a nice little parasympathetic flow here, calming the body down, bringing calm in the chaos. Maybe you like to tuck those hands back by the hips and just breathe here. Focusing on relaxation, connecting with your breath, finding the inner stillness, the inner calm, being grateful for today. Being grateful for our muscles that help us to move. Being grateful for this moment in time. You can stay in this calming position as long as you like. If you need to get going, you can go ahead and end your practice with those 3 breaths. As we inhale those arms up to the sky. Exhale, stretching so wide. Inhale to stretch tall. Exhale to stretch wide. Let's inhale gratitude for today. And exhale joy. Thank you so much for joining me today.